and all these other stuff. So I'm going to try to compress as much as I can so we can go through them all. And if we don't make it to the end, please do me a favor and send us email through Sherry or through TAMA Research so we can respond back and give you your answers. Without further ado, we're going to get started and we're going to talk about aging. As you can see, all of us age, and there is really no exception. And there are multiple reasons. Some doctors calls it a disease. Well, I don't call it a disease. I say that there are some changes that happens within us, and we really can't help it. The same way that a baby, once is born, is a day old, and it just adds on. So it has some of us age faster than others, and some of us have a better way of holding our youth. The reason for it is all within and on the outside. So one of the videos that I have prepared for you, it's showing us what we work on a constant basis. This video is a little sexy, so take a look. Some of my team members call it, you should give us a little kind of an warning. So here we go. This is what we touch on a normal basis.
Tina, we can't hear the video.
Oh, you cannot?
No. If you hit on share screen, it should show you a box that says share computer sound.
So let me see if I can share. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. I'm not going to have a chance to try this again. So let's hope that we can just actually, it's very important
it
from
off
here on. So
and lay it out flat. The average person's skin would cover some 18 square feet. Though just millimeters thick, it would weigh about 6 pounds. And we're constantly making more. Just wait a month or so, and you too will have a shiny new coat. Which means skin can't be all dead. Dip below the surface, and you find cells continuously dividing to replace those dead cells above. Miles of blood vessels pulse to skin's connective tissues. Through its network of blood vessels, skin carries as much as 1/3 of the heart's hot, freshly pumped blood.
So that's what we work on a normal basis, right? So
here is a cell, the basic unit of all living tissue. In most human cells, there is a structure called the nucleus. The nucleus contains the genome. In humans, the genome is split between 23 pairs of chromosomes.
So why is that important? We work with the skin on a daily basis. As the video was showing, it is our armor, it is our protector. It's a dead skin. It's protecting us and it's working from inside out. So what I am trying to show you in these two pictures is the fact that certain things like the blood vessels and the nerve nerve endings are all aging as we get older. So this is the reason, as you see, someone getting older is a little slower in their movements, in their reaction, in their pain levels and such, right? So I wanted to bring you to this and show you another video that explains the neurons and how these neurons actually work.
And when we zoom into the cellular level, we see familiar cell structures like a nucleus with DNA or mitochondria and other organelles inside the cell body. But we also see plenty of specialized structures that all help neurons send their message across the body, like dendrites, axons, and the myelin sheath and axon terminals.
So I am going to make this video stop
When we zoom into the cellular level
for me to show something to you. When it talks about the myelin sheaths, which is these fatty little
and
tissues,
axon terminals. Let's start at
stop it here. I'm not sure if you guys can see the mouse. The separation between these two myelin sheaths is actually helps the signal to get through to the nerve endings. As we get older, these myelin sheaths shrink, and this is the reason that our body becomes slower in responses to things. So let's finish.
the dendrites, those tentacle-looking things branching off of the cell body. These dendrites collect chemical signals from other cells, which eventually sends an electrical impulse down the axon, this long branch here. Axons are sometimes coated in these fatty cells that form the myelin sheath around an axon, which makes the nervous impulse travel along the nerve faster. Once the impulse makes it to the end of the axon, it stimulates these tiny branches, the axon terminals, which release some chemicals into the synapse, the junction between it and the neuron it attaches to. Within the axon terminals are little containers that carry neurotransmitters, chemicals that signal the neurons to do different things.
And you're going to see a few of these things. I'm going to keep on going because the fact that all of these is already available on YouTube and we can download them and watch them over and over again. There is going to be a page that I'm going to show you where I found these, and you can take a picture and watch them again later, actually in its full entirety. So as we age, there are certain things that really help, bothers us. One of them is the stress. A lot of us had a lot of it last year, 2020, and it hasn't stopped really. Anxiety, a lot of issues that we're dealing with on a normal basis. The toxins around us and the toxins that ends up in our food that we eat, they all have a lot of effect in how we age and whether it expedites it. There are some ways that we can actually slow it down. Well, that's what we're going to see next. So these are the aging process. As the cell that was showing you the chromosomes, this is the chromosome. What it sees on the top of each chromosome is your telomeres. And what happens as we age, as the cells divides and divides and divides, the telomeres becomes smaller and smaller. And that's the reason you get cellular senescences, which is like a zombie cells, believe it or not. And this is one of those bases of Alzheimer and the mitochondrial dysfunction. We're not going to go into all of these today, guys, because that's not why we're here. We're here to help you understand what we need to do next with all the pandemic and all the things that has happened to our lives. But all of this is the kind of things we cover in our education classes. So these are the lists that you see here. It has a lot to do with how we age on the inside. There is something else that we also need to really watch out for, and that is our thoughts. How we think and how we look at things and how upset we might get on small pieces makes a huge impact on how our body reacts. They say you are what you eat. I say we are what we think. So we're going to go next to how we can stop it. Exercise and proper balanced diet are two biggest things that the researchers today are suggesting that we do. Not because we want to look good and we want to be skinny. It's because we want to be healthy. If we were always thinking about how can we increase our health. That's the way we need to be looking at. So whenever we are going to take that little piece of whatever in our mouth, we need to think, how is that going to help my cells? Is this what my body requires? So there was a very detailed study on actual exercise, which is very important for us to know, as not just because it's how is it helping. So your um, your skeleton muscle, when we are running or doing any types of workout, has a huge impact, not just on our um, the systemic system. It also has a lot to do with the inner organs, like your liver, and you can actually detox your liver by exercising properly. You can help your brain to be more sharper and work better. So you can actually help your neurons and everything else. So there is a lot to do with exercise. And my suggestion to all of us is minimum of 20 minutes to 45 minutes of walking, if we can do that. Sometimes we just can't. I try to walk to work. That's what I try to do. And there is a lot of other things, and that is like water intake, proper food, vegetables, and such. So we have a tendency when we're working to not to feed ourselves quickly, because when we are allowing ourselves to be totally starving, we're going to go for that carbohydrate or the sugar. My suggestion is to have a balanced meal all over your places that you can just kind of bite and eat, because when we're working in and I have watched many of you on a daily basis, when you are in element, you're so busy helping others that you forget to help yourself. So my suggestion is make sure that you have taken your supplements, you're taking your minerals and vitamins. These are all going to be the basic block chains of what makes your body work better. And so you can last longer, you can work better, you can help others better. So help yourself first before you help others. And not too many people like for me to tell them, do not drink. But seriously, your body does not need the extra alcohol. Your liver makes enough alcohol to clean your body clean. How anything external is really detox, toxic, is toxic to your body. So drink a lot of water, maybe fruit juices that you juice yourself, and stuff like that that can help you get better. And last is minimize the stress. Yeah, right. Somebody says. Okay, so we're going to come to microcurrent. And I have made this thing a very simple way of explaining what a microcurrent is. A microcurrent is an electrical apparatus, an equipment that actually has an AC output, and it has a couple of electrodes that the electrode has to touch the body, and the body becomes a part of that circuitry. Remember that armor with all the dead skin that is sitting there, that's our skin. That electrical equipment needs to come in contact with it. And now it has to send a signal, a force, which is your current, into that body. Our body is very specific and is very intelligent. It's not going to allow just about anything go into it. So you have to have proper frequency. So you're going to say, oh my gosh, she's going to be talking about all of these things. These waveforms that you see on the top of the screen, these are different frequency. These are different waveforms that your frequency can be put in, which your current is going to be delivered. Every one of them does something special and unique. And these systems that you see on the bottom, they're nothing but a signal generator. In my line of work, I use that on a constant basis to do testing and measurements and what have you. So they do use the body as a flow of energy, and for body to accept this, you're going to need something called water. Water comes in forms of sweat. Exercising makes your body resistance to drop, or it can be used as a gel or some kind of a means of external product that you can apply, that you can get the current to go through and bypass the resistance of the skin. So I put together something quick and funny that I like for you to watch. So the battery represents the little device that I showed you in the past. The switch is when you turn the device on, and that little light bulb is your body. So unless you connect all the electrode to the body, the current isn't going to flow. And this is the reason that I was just trying to show you that your body becomes a part of this circuitry. It's very important that you choose something that is not going to hurt that body. You saw a lot of things that are living underneath that skin. So whatever you do on the top is going to affect everything with it. So I forgot what I have here, but let's see what we've got here. Actually, it's talking about the exercise. So exercise, when we are doing the exercise, these repetitions that we're talking about, is actually shows what we do with the frequency of the device that is going to push together. So that's the speed, the force is the current, is the amplitude, and yes, the exercise that we're doing is going to affect your whole body, which this video is showing. However, your microcurrent should be doing the same, because in a real world, people have said the microcurrent is like exercising your muscles. So right here, I have draw parallel with the exercise. And I said, okay, if the counterpart was, exercise, and my microcurrent is supposed to be like an exercise, so the speed of that movement is my frequency. The higher the frequency of the movement, the warmer your body gets. That's your ATP. The next one is the force. How much am I pushing? How much of weight am I lifting? That's your current amplitude. And then the duration of the time, remember that 2 minutes maximum time that you should be doing any kind of repetition, that's your treatment time. Intensity of muscle contraction is the voltage amplitude. And so all of these along talking together, it makes a microcurrent. Pretty easy, huh? Not so. But now we're going to talk about something else. Some people like to put more current because they think if you put more current, like some of our guys, when you go to the gym, well, when we used to go to the gym, we used to see all these big boys that would come and pick up some 150 pounds and move and then pull it up, right? And I always just looked at them because I can never do that. But what that does to the body is it contracts the muscle in such a way that it contracts the blood flow. No more oxygen, right? So yes, your high current produces temporary lift, but is it lasting? Then you are going to do a little lower pressure, lower force, which is like 5-pounder, 10-pounders. When you're doing that, it's more healing to the body. You are contracting the muscle, but it's not so overbearing. So that's why the lower current provides longer lasting treatments, which means if you were going to use a microcurrent for healing purposes, you can do that, but you need to reduce your current. You have to go around 100 to 180 microamps, and that's all your body requires to heal itself. Let me be clear. We never can heal anyone. I know I'm a Reiki master. We can let the body heal itself. We're the ones that just remove the blockages. So as we mentioned earlier, the nervous system, which showed the signal going through, it's like a communication hub to the brain, yeah? And some people say that the electrical circuitry of our home is similar to our body. I've got a few videos for you to watch that explains how that works. So this is, I just want to make sure I've got this right. So let's see if you see that the message arrives, all the ionic exchange happens. That doesn't happen in our home. There is no ionic exchange. So the electrical signal turns into a chemical reaction, and that's how you see the ionic exchange, which is salt and potassium. So this is your home type of a system where the electricity is running through all these wires into the hubs or into the plugs, right? So that's not exactly how our system works. Here is a very specific type of a neuron stimulation. So the neurons and the brain, uh, it's going to tell you what they feed on, and then how do they work. So enjoy.
Your brain has about 86 billion neurons that are interconnected at 100 trillion to quadrillion synapses. In order to get more glucose, they activate a protein called GLUT4, which lives inside our cells. As you start thinking really hard, extra GLUT4 moves to the surface of the cell membrane. Neuron is sticking a little fishing net out into the bloodstream to grab glucose. Once the nets are out there, they just keep grabbing more fuel, allowing our brain cells to burn the midnight oil. Once it grabs onto the glucose, it can use that to send messages and keep you thinking. There's a common misconception, though, that your neurons are firing electricity from one cell to the next, and that's a bit misleading. It's not like electricity in your home. Instead, your brain's electrical signals come from charged molecules called ions. The charge propagates down the length of a nerve cell membrane, kind of like doing the wave at a hockey game. When it reaches the end of the cell, the electrical signal is converted into a chemical signal. The chemicals are collectively called neurotransmitters, which allow the cells to talk to each other. The neurotransmitters are stored in little containers across the neuron called vesicles. Neurons can have hundreds to hundreds of thousands of vesicles, all making sure the messages it wants to send can get out safely. Your brain has about...
So hopefully I was able to deliver the message. So this is actually a picture of your body when all the neurons are working cohesively, sending messages into the brain, and your brain being the hub of all the receivables. There is something else that we all need to know about. We all heard that all electrical equipments, wherever there is electricity, there is magnetic field. These two come together as a sister and brother. You cannot separate them. And I'm a magnetic engineer, and I did that for 27 years. And I have about 5 to 7 patents on them, kind of different things. But what this is telling you is that the magnetic field is created not by our brain. There is some misconceptions there. The magnetic field is created by our heart. If you remember, a baby at almost 3 months of age, you can actually hear their hearts, and that's where you can see the waveform. You can actually hear the waveform. So here is a video of that. So the waveform shows you that the current that you see there is biphasic, goes up and down, right? It creates a magnetic field around us, just like the magnetic field that is created around the Earth. And that's why we are safe from all the externals, like the rocks and stuff that comes toward the Earth is what repels it. The same thing that happens to us. This magnetic field is what you feel if you're coming into a room. You are going to feel their field. We can't see it, but it exists. So with that, we're going to come to TAMA and why do you want to look at TAMA devices and why TAMA is different than any other microcurrent that is out there. The TAMA Touch-Less therapy is only possible with the use of the TAMA devices. We have designed based on many inputs from Sherry, Shelley Hancock, and other leading aestheticians out there to come up with something for those people who are on a budget. So the MeTAMA was designed to be supporting that. We call it an offspring of our Blue Onyx Quad design. It's not just the Pro, it's actually Quad. It does have all the benefits of a Quad device, which I'm going to show in the next thing. So this one, since we watched the video, I've already explained the magnetic field, so we're going to walk through that. These things are not just me saying them. There has been some studies and that has been done, and it was back in 1992 by Dr. in which I can't pronounce, in Caltech, and he has finally able to figure out that our body respond to the magnetic field of the earth. So we at TAMA have taken um, that possibility and implemented by researching and implementing that kind of design into our devices. So our devices, if you look at our slogan, we say we are more than just a microcurrent. We actually implemented the magnetic field that is generated by the earth, and that's what really goes into the body. That means that our waveform cannot be a simple frequency. It had to be a modulated frequency. It means that you're getting all of it at once. Is that crazy? Yeah, maybe some people can't believe that, because if you remember well, none of us remember, but we all read it, that when Galileo said Earth was round, he was actually crucified for it. The same thing as us. Many say it's impossible for this to happen. No, it's not. The result is in this. So you're going to say, how is that magnetic field created in our Earth? It's coming from deep within. The molten iron within the Earth creates that magnetic field. This is why, unlike some of our researchers that are trying to build something on the Mars, there is no way you can have a home on Mars because there is no magnetic field. You're going to be always at the hit of any of those meteors that are going to go by it. At Earth, we don't have that issue. We are protected. So how is that relate to our body? Guess what? Our body has blood. Remember, we saw that earlier. There is something in our blood that has the same name as the molten iron, and that is iron. So our body has iron in it. Our iron is what keeps our magnetic field floating through our body, pumping by the heart, going through the body. So then the field that this body creates is about 25 to 65 micro Tesla. Tesla is the unit of measure for the magnetic field. It's called flux. So this is what that is. I'm trying to make these things very simple. If you ever wanted to come and learn more, we do teach it. I would love to teach you. So the next thing is the waveform that we keep talking about. Everybody says, oh, waveform don't matter. That's not true. We're not saying waveform doesn't matter. Waveform matters. Waveform brings your frequency into your body. It's all included. And then you hear duty cycle. Duty cycle is when your device is on and when it's off. Our device is never off. Our device is going to send messages because it's sending messages to all tissues, not just one. So we're never going to create inflammation. We're always going to actually remove inflammation. So by seeing what you see there, these colors that you see are just colors, by the way, guys. We just love these colors. And it comes from my background on the Reiki. And so if you are somehow inclined in the Reiki, you understand what those things means and how they are reflecting within our body. So yeah, we do have a few patents, not just one, on these waveforms and how we measure your actual tissue composition and adjust these waveforms to make sure you get what you need. Um, so it is very quick in response because it's all digital. The same way that you can see me now, this was not possible about 20 years ago, right? So we used to have a phone. So things have changed. Technology have grown, and you can grow with the technology to bring something unique to the hand of an esthetician who is there more than a doctor with its clients. So this is what you see here. The dancing picture that you see here is a competitor that says, oh, I have multi-channel device and I'm sending the frequencies in. This is what they're doing, sending it in and hoping for the best. What you see here from the origin, we only need one channel if you send all frequencies at once. The body, that uniqueness of TAMA lies here. We don't have to have multiple channels. One channel does it all. And the current that we push into the body of 800 microamps maximum is what your body really requires if you were working it backwards with that 25 to 65 microtesla. 800 microamp is the maximum current you should be pushing into the body without hurting it. So anything above it goes into that constricting the muscle, constricting the O2, which is your oxygen, and the blood flow. So in every device that you see, when you are looking at the professional devices, you need to really make sure that things are FDA cleared. Can you use it in your facility? Is this something that is designed for facial rejuvenations and body too, or not? Those things are very important, guys. I know we don't have time to evaluate those things, and I hope that there are certain estheticians that have gotten themselves a little higher. You know, they studied some of these, and you can actually check these things on their website. Doesn't take long to check on FDA and check out what Tina says is true or not. It's really important that you connect yourself with people that actually are saying and delivering what they do. So you do receive on a quad, you do receive a tablet. The tablet houses our app. The app is designed to multiply the waveform that I showed you throughout a treatment. The treatment, we have designed it based on 5 categories. These are based on facial matrices, on different clients, different issues, different, you know, the different issues that you might be facing. So you can select those specific and just deploy the treatment so you don't have to waste time. All of us are mothers or fathers, or we're working so hard and we need to make the ends meet. A lot of times when I started with microcurrent about 17 years ago, I didn't have time to decide whether the frequency that I was using was actually accurate or not. So I always used 20 hertz, and so I was happy with it. But what I'm trying to say is that we try to make it simple. And can you do more with the TAMA? Of course, you are in the driver's seat, but we are giving it to you so you can get started. You can get money right away to pay for what you just invested. And then educate yourself more and more as the time goes on and be the best that you want to be. So we are going to explain how TAMA really empowers the whole body. One of the most important ones is your lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is the one system that doesn't have a pump. It relies heavily on your heartbeat and your breathing. Seriously, it's that simple. Some of us don't move that much. Many of our clients, as you can see them as they get older, you're going to see the puffiness around their jaw, under their eyes, around the neck, and on their ankles or around their hips and such. These are not fats. Some of these are just lymphatic that had not been drained. So can you help it? Yes, actually you can, and it's touchless. That means you don't have to really do anything. You don't have to learn all the movements of the exercises that people do, the massages. If you want to do it, do it. But if you don't, and you are like me, who likes to take a little easy way out, just do a TAMA. There was a study that was done that they have taken and added some dye into the system and the lymphatic area to see if they put a very low amount of current, will the lymphatic system drain faster? And the study showed that yes, it will. So that's what this one is showing you, just so you know that yes, what I'm saying is actually true. So we're now done with all of those, and we're going to explain to you what is TAMA Touch-Less. TAMA Touch-Less therapy is patent pending. Everything that I'm showing you today is on our patent. So what does that do for you, and how come it's so important? We address each issue individually and in a timely manner. Means that if your client is suffering from eye puffiness or dark circles, you can do eye detox or eyes wide open. You can also allow them to give them a 30 minutes quiet time. Let them just lay there and relax a bit. The system goes through the TAMA app. The app does it all for them. You don't have to do anything. You just choose the program. The app will tell them, okay, place the pads and do this and that, right? So that's what really does. And what it will be working on, it's going to deliver all of this. It's a lot to claim. It's true. So you are going to really help promote healing and help the body heal and get better. So this is a little video that we made, and hopefully you like it.
Introducing TAMA Wellness Therapy, a touch-less wellness treatment that releases stagnant lymph, boosts the immune system, and restores balance to the body's natural electromagnetic qualities for total rejuvenation. This new touch-less wellness treatment is inspired by the latest changes in our lives, allowing us to reclaim parts of normal life while maintaining safe social practices and boosting the immune system for restored health. We live in a world of frequencies and vibrations. Every cell in our body vibrates dynamically with complex frequency harmonics. Electromagnetic currents flow in the body, moving ions and nutrients among cells, thus increasing vitality. A disruption in these currents may lead to illness, inflammation, and premature aging. Along with TAMA Wellness Therapy, it is vital to incorporate a healthy lifestyle. Reducing stress, engaging in regular exercise, staying hydrated, and eating a diet rich in immune-boosting vitamins and minerals will promote health, longevity, and improve the results of your treatments. At a healthy state, our body is well equipped and has a sophisticated way of eliminating toxins. Aging and illness initiates imbalance in these protective systems. Optimize your body's detoxification system by adding TAMA Wellness Therapy, a natural and non-invasive procedure delivered with minimal person-to-person contact. The holistic and non-invasive treatment requires no chemicals, injections, or invasive procedures. There is no downtime and no sun sensitivity. It is safe, painless, and the touch-less application allows for a socially distant treatment experience. Ask your local TAMA practitioner if you are a candidate for this groundbreaking wellness treatment and to schedule your first appointment. TAMA Touch-Less Therapy is the health, well-being, and beauty revolution for today, tomorrow, and the future.
So now we are going to go, it explained exactly why we're doing this, right? So hopefully I don't have to explain it again. So we are going to be working on, these are your menu. You're going to be doing body detox you can offer, eyes wide open, which you saw a picture. We're going to show it again. Tama Bella is made and is designed after Kai Bella. You can actually lift the double chin and get rid of that. We call it chin buster. And the Tamaderma downward lip lift, these are all hands-free treatments. Frontalis, pick it upper, ironing forehead lines. Hand flirtatious, youthful and pain-free hands, and décolleté showcase, which is removal of cleavage lines. What we promote that you do is you have your client purchase their own stuff. This is the Tama Essence mask that Sherry was showing you, is something that is going to be used if they were going to do a full facelift. If they're not, and they're just doing the maybe eye detox, or if they're going to do Tama Bella, Tamaderma type of treatments, all they need is the pads. If they're going to do anything with their body detox, they're going to need the gloves and the pads. So there's a combination of what they need, and you are going to be able to sell these to your client. This way, you don't have to worry about sanitation and cross contamination. These are the ones that you're going to say, this is yours. And from now on, when you come in, you just let me know. They're going to sign up with you and say, I'm coming in today for the Tama Bella, for instance. And you're just going to have to select the program for them, leave the room, let them just follow through and do their thing. I have a price list for you that you can look at and see if this really makes sense. So the equipment that you're going to need for that purpose is the Tama Quad. Now, what happens if you didn't or you couldn't afford a Tama Quad? You can use a MeTama. What does MeTama do that the Quad doesn't do? MeTama is, all you see is what you see in her hands. It's a very small device, and I believe Sherry has it too. So here is a MeTama, right? It's pretty small. It comes with a connection where you can connect your probes to it, which is your electrodes, and a charging unit. However, what this device does, it doesn't allow you to choose programs. It's only going to be a 10 minutes if you buy a repair or renew for 10 minutes. If you are in a business of acne treatments, you may want to invest into a clear MeTama, which is going to help you with just detoxification and product infusion, which we all need for that matter. We're going to go through that as well. And you can also decide to maybe you want to step up and get the Deluxe. The Deluxe MeTama is designed for estheticians who are going to work in anti-aging or age management protocols, where you can actually do either 10 minutes lift and tone, or for different skin types, or you want to do 20 minutes all type of skin issues. So here is the placements of the pad for somebody who was going to do the eye detox. And it's very simple. You can see they can just place the pads. There is nothing they can do wrongly. And the video is going to show them, the tablet is going to show them what to do. This is a person that did the test herself, and this is a one treatment that she sent in and said, it's unbelievable. So that's what you see here. This is the décolleté showcase. Décolleté showcase comes in 2 steps. It's going to require a little bit of help from you, which means you're not seeing the pads right now, but these pads are going to be placed on the back and the front, because of the fact that the reason a lot of times we have these cleavage lines is due to the fact that we shrug our shoulders. So there is a 2-step process. You do place the pads, connect the connector, the device does it all, but it's going to push the current in certain areas by releasing and detoxing, and in some certain areas strengthening. So that all gets done, and it's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes treatment. This is your Tamabella. Your pads can be placed under the chin. You wrap it up to hold the muscle in place. And this is actually me doing the treatment on myself. And that's just one session. Here is the Tamaderma treatment. And that one is a little more intense. It does require a quad device to do. So you can see that in certain of these treatments may not be necessarily be done. You may not be able to do it with just the MeTama. So you can see that you need 6 pads, and these pads are going to be talking to each other in a different manners. That is going to give you this kind of lift that you see. And then we are coming to our acne situation. Acne it's a pretty big issue. A lot of clients that we have, they don't want to be doing a lot of medications, and a lot of products have not been successful for them. So we designed something very specific. It's a 30 minutes treatment that requires a MeTama or a quad device to do. This is a treatment of 30 minutes with the mask that we showed you, and this is right after the treatment. So you are placing the pads on and the mask on, then you're going to put the pads on, and you're going to get this type of result right after. And this is 4 days later. So her skin cleared up. She was very happy, and this, you can actually help decongest the skin without it coming to the head. We're now coming into the hand treatment. Hand treatments is really simple. It also does a few things than just hand. So you are going to use the gloves and the pad. This is only showing one set of one part of the body, but you are going to work on both sides at the same time. And then can you do more? Of course. This is an arthritis treatment where you can actually see 37% increase in flexibility without any medication. This is 6-session treatment. Frontalis picker-upper, getting the iron, the frontalis lines by putting 4 pads on the face. And this is another picture of how the blue modality that it be shown can actually be penetrated through the mask. So this thing was done by Vizia, and it's showing you the less pores and how much less lines and wrinkles you're seeing. Actually, this is 7 days after the treatment, and this one is also the same day, but it's for the spot testing. And I believe I have one more video for you, so hopefully this is fun. We'll see. It has something to do with me now.
Our body is made of cells held together via a magnetic energy field. TAMA's patented M2W technology uses biomimetic electric and magnetic currents to awaken the cells and balance their magnetism. The body only needs micro amounts of energy to regain its knowledge and restore healthy function. TAMA technology is demonstrating its capabilities in MeTama, a unique, easy-to-use device that emanates from the TAMA Blue Onyx legacy. The MeTama programs feature the proper time for TAMA detox, nourish, lift, and tone modulated frequencies to come together and deliver a state-of-the-art treatment in only 10 minutes. A combination of detoxing and clearing the skin's pathways, while simultaneously nourishing it with the Essence Mask by TAMA, supercharges and supplements the cells with the energy and nutrition they yearn for to adequately rebuild and rejuvenate. Facial muscles get lifted, skin gets tighter, and excess toxins get dumped for overall skin health and glow.
So with that said, I believe it explained itself pretty well. So I have to check the time. Ooh, okay, so we're kind of running out of time. Let's see if I can make this happen. So the METAMA does not use frequencies that depletes the ATP, or the current is not high enough. It's very comforting. A lot of times your client does fall asleep. It does not contract the facial muscles, and it does not require to be used daily. Actually, if you were going to sell this, you can actually retail METAMA. You would have your client use it once a week. It does lift and rejuvenate. It really requires a 10 minutes treatment in your spa room. I will use the program number 3, which is a 20 minutes treatment, and you could actually get a bigger lift. I have a picture to show you that I did here last week. So these are the pictures that our clients sent in, that they were really impressed with what they were seeing. And this is the one that I told you about that I did here last week. So this is just a METAMA, me nothing, not touching the client at all. Just had her put the essence mask, put the pads, and lay there for 20 minutes. So this is another client of ours here in Scottsdale, Arizona, who did the work on one of her clients, and this is her results. So this type of pictures that you see here is what we send you if you are requiring documents that you like to send to your clients. So these things can have your logo put in, and you could send it off. As far as education, I feel like I'm being rushed. So as far as education, we do have yearly conferences that I that encourage you to join. We do have some special prices that ends the end of March. We like to know how many people we're going to get. This year is going to be in person again. And we are going to follow through with all the CDC guidelines. And I believe by then we're all going to be vaccinated, or if we're not, it's okay. And it's a 3 days program. We used to have it as 4 days. We decided to go to 3 days, and just for a few reasons that many of you guys have requested. So I wanted to give my appreciation to a few of our clients that have gone over and beyond their duty to use TAMA in many ways than one, to helping other people, their clients, to get better. Brenda Keller, Elizabeth Pierney, Phyllis Wolf, Tammy Nash, Ronette Moore. These guys have been doing TAMA for the past 7 years, and they have done remarkable work in many ways, like making the person walk again, or having the person be able to have a normal face after 16 years of having Bell's palsy and real deformed facial features, or be able to actually sit up and not have back pain. So for all of that, my kudos to you guys, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. For other people like Valeria Seco, who has gone over and beyond since 2015, she had implemented using the TAMA in a way that we instructed, and she was able to really get remarkable results. And this is what she has done, where you see the electrodes put on the mask and has given her such an amazing results. Another person that has done a great work is Edie Kerfoot, who had used the METAMA as a means of rental. So she was renting it on a daily basis, and she started this in March of 2020, just so she could make some money because her spa was shut. So these things are just crazy. These guys are amazing. And you can also see our friend Kimberly Rose, who has implemented the TAMA Cabana in her backyard and has done a TAMA. The client comes in, this is totally touchless. She has done a winter getaway and a summer getaway, and just creativity is endless. These are the websites that I told you about that we're going to talk about, and you can look at. And the last but not least, thank you for sitting here. And if you have any questions, please, by all means, have them come through. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome,
Awesome,
awesome.
awesome.
Oops, am I there?
You are here. I can see you.
Do you hear an echo?
No.
Then I hear the echo.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm gonna stop her screen sharing. Because
I have to stop the screen share. Okay, sure.
okay.
How does that work?
Okay, good. So I already hate hearing myself, and then to hear myself twice, don't want that. All right, so yay, I always learn something when you do a presentation, so thank you. And I have some questions, but we do have quite a few questions in here, so I want to make sure I cover all of them. So I've got 3 sections to look at. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, if you do have questions, they're still pouring in. Just type them in the Q&A box, and we're going to go through them one by one. We should have plenty of time to do this. Okay, question 1. I did not realize that an electrode could be used on a large surface area. Can you explain the sizes with the electrodes?
Of course. And is it possible for me to share screen again so I can show you?
Sure.
Yep. So the screens, let me see if I can have something. So electrodes comes in different ways. This is an electrode, that's an electrode, and this one right here is an electrode, right? So these are metal pieces that looks like, you know, every one of them carries a different current because of the surface area that the current is being dispersed, right? So the next thing is, here you are. So what you see here, the mask is acting as a long, big piece of electrode. And what we have done uniquely is we energize the mask, making the mask to be the electrode that is all over your face and the other electrode that is sitting on your clavicle. By applying the amount of product that is inside the Essence Max on your neck, you're actually going to get the treatment everywhere where you have that Essence Mask. Now, let me say something. If you put it on your hands, do you think you're going to get the current there too? Remember, the answer is yes. Reason is your body is made out of, depending on your age, is between 78% to 55% water. So when you saw what the inside of us is not dense, it's actually everything is moving. So when you're putting electrodes here and here, the current that is going through your body is what you're putting right there. Is your whole body getting it? It's not just there. So can you get your whole body moist? When gyms were open, I used to go into the sauna and steam room and do this treatment because I wanted to get it all over my body. Hey, if you could afford to have a steam room in your home, do that. Make sure your device is in a container that doesn't get the water in, right? Or you can put it outside because you have enough length for the leads to be on. So that's the answer to that. Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm going to stop sharing for now.
And let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Experienced TAMA, and not seeing any muscles twitching. So why do certain videos of microcurrent show that type of twitching and you're not seeing that with TAMA?
Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, now I have to show you another video. Jeez.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. 1 second, please. Share screen again. Here we go. Share. And let's see if I can do this from this picture. Start from the show. I hope that this is going to be, no. So take a look at this video. The reason TAMA doesn't twitch is because our current is, it's actually, we are very low in current, right? This is what you see in twitching. You see the twitching? Okay, take a look at this waveform. What this device is doing is sending current sporadically. It's not a constant current. When there is no constant current, you're gonna get that twitching. If it's a constant current, the minute the first time you get the treatment, you feel something coming on, and then you fall asleep because everything becomes norm, right? Is talking to your body the way your body is already talking, is not jamming it with information. I think, did I answer your question now? Or
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So,
okay, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say now. Now.
All right, so
Oh,
I can
explain.
Sure.
Okay, another one. Ports versus channels. What is the difference? TAMA has 1 to 3 ports, and what does that mean, and what does that do?
Okay, so then there it is again. I got to show stuff because seeing is much easier than explaining, correct? So I'm going to share again, and I'm going to show this again. So as I mentioned before, and right now I'm not sure if, okay, there it is. So we believe that the body only needs maximum of 800 microamps, maximum of 800 microamps. In our devices, where you see this is a back treatment, when we can actually get rid of backache when people are throwing their back out within 1 hour. So
I'm taking a picture of this.
You can, I can always email it to you. But so what you see here is that pay attention to the red and white connections, because that's how the body is going to talk and the accumulation of current is going to happen. Again, we believe that since when people use channels, they're using channels because they don't have proper frequencies. Remember this light show I put out first, where the person is using 4 channels? This one, it's 4 channels. TAMA only needs 1 channel because all the frequencies are embedded in one. We don't need to put, what our device does, what you see in this little pretty picture is 64 channels. 64 channels. And how did we do it? It's really unique way of programming. We live in a digital world, and the digital world has enabled us to program our unique microprocessors to be able to deliver what you need. My intention when we started TAMA was to make something very unique and simple to use. I was done with just moving knobs and such. This is really the intention that TAMA was born, just to bring something that was simple, easy to use, and it was result driven. Many people have told us we don't know what to tell our clients because we're not seeing results, and we don't know what to say. We don't feel comfortable getting their money. So that is not what you hear from our clients. So we are going to, I think that's it. So now I'm going to stop sharing and see what is the next question.
And make sure I'm not echoing. No, not echoing. Okay. Maria is asking, how often can a microcurrent facial be given to a client? And what are the cons if someone is using products that have retinol in them?
The treatment, if it was done for age management, our study has shown that if the person can come in once a week to start the treatment, my suggestion is, depending on age and the skin condition, that's why we said we have 5 programs. Different skin condition requires different number of treatments that they need to get their skin where you want it to be. For instance, I'm going to have to share again to show you a person's face because it makes a big difference.
And can they use retinol if they're getting microcurrent treatment?
Can they use retinol in a microcurrent treatment after their treatment? Yes, I like not to be going into the body. What you see here is a skin that is very dry, as you can see. And this is 52 sessions of just TAMA microcurrent done once a week for 10 minutes. So when you see this type of results, this is really what you need to do. Now, the younger the person is, the better your results will be. What you see in this picture is a 31-year-old that came to us, got treatments once once a month. I'm sorry, once a month, and then what you see here is 3 years later. She, in this picture, she's actually 34 years old. So this was before. This one with the nose ring that you see is after, which is just once a month on her monthly facials that she got her TAMA treatment, which is profile number 3. So we call them, these 5 programs that I told you about, we call them profile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are specific to do what they do. So that was the whole reason for it. Any other questions?
Oh, yes, we've got questions, my dear. Let's see. Would this complement microchanneling, microneedling, or would it replace it?
You can do both. I use micro needling when I am dealing with a very deep line on the skin of the person. The blue modality is capable of pushing product in. So if you don't want to do micro needling all over the face, especially with CDC guidelines, especially with that kind of things, I'd like to limit my interaction with the client. So no matter how much we try to protect ourselves, we have to know that there are possibilities. Even with the vaccine, we're not really safe. That's what they say. So my suggestion is, the way I have seen it, and I use Regenerate for my treatments. I use it for those people. It's okay, but I use it for those people like the crow's feet that are really deep lines. You know how some people have those laugh lines that are really deep, or the number 11 that is very deep. Most men have that. That I use the Regenerate to just break down the surfaces, and then I use my TAMA. And sometimes I can just do Regenerate and then do TAMA Touch-Less and not even actually work on them myself with the probes. I have been able to really create something unique, which is coming next, that is not yet ready to be shown. But so these are all the capabilities that TAMA has. So yeah, it can be done. But as far as product penetration, you can really simplify it and make it to be just a blue modality.
Gotcha. And then what someone is asking questions about the cost of supply. So once they get their unit, whether it be the quad or if they decide to go with the knee TAMA, can you tell them a little bit about their replenishment? Because obviously, if they would need to get a set for each client they set up, right? You know, it could be gloves, it could be the pads, things like that. Can you tell them a little bit about those replenishments?
Right. So we have quantity discounts if the person is buying in a big quantity, like a 20 pads is much cheaper than if you were buying a single pad. The gloves are under the same umbrella. The kind of things you need from TAMA really for product penetration, like for the current penetration, all you need is water. There is a product that we made that is called TAMA Tonic. TAMA Tonic helps rise your vibration frequencies of your water to meet with TAMA frequencies. So all you need is a capful. 8 ounces is only $20, and the capful goes a long way. We don't really want to have you worry about, oh my God, every treatment is going to cost me $5. That's not true. The mask is about $5 if you were buying in quantities, and we do have quantity discounts And that's the cheapest mask with the amazing ingredients that you really can find in the industry.
Perfect. Yeah, it's very once you get your device, your price to continue using it is very low, and you just start making your money back, hand over foot, especially if you're doing renting it out like Edie was and things like that. Oh, here's one. Does microcurrent help with scarring?
Yeah, and I think in one of our videos we showed that I believe Tammy Nash was able to remove total lines across the head. It does help with the scarring because of the fact that scarring is collagen buildup in an area. So we have the white modality that we call it detox modality actually can break down the collagen that is extra, or even the protein that is extra. With collagen is protein, so you can get rid of it, but it doesn't mean that it goes into the dumpster. It actually puts it back into the sack so you can use it for something else.
Perfect. And Lexi is asking, the TAMA once a week, for how long would she use that? In other words, is it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or is it inevitable, forever? And then how long do the results last? So if a person's using the TAMA and they're getting these results, how long do they last? What would their maintenance be for their treatments afterwards?
So that question comes in, would I ever be able to replace my TAMA with my work of an esthetician, right? So a TAMA is a once a week treatment. That's for someone who has never done a microcurrent in a series. If you have done microcurrent in a series, you could do TAMA maybe twice a month, just to keep your face exactly like when you left my office, right? But there are certain, limitation. When you are putting the electrodes, like your probes, on the person's face, there are sections of our faces that our eyes are trained to see. It may not be for your client. Your client may be just happy. However, whenever they come to you and for you to touch those areas, for instance, the corner of the eyelid, where that is not going to be totally lifted unless you put your probes there. So we designed it in a way, we designed the TAMA in a way based on our promise to our clients many years ago, that your job will never be replaced as a monthly to 45 days. You are going to see your client and your treatment is always going to supersede whatever they do at home. So yes, I think TAMA for home use should be done once a week. Can they do more than that? I don't think I can control them. Some people believe that more is better. I don't believe that. But sometimes I think maximum of twice. I believe Shelley Hancock had put out a video that she's been using TAMA for 6 months. And she said, it's in her video. I suggest that you guys go and see it so I don't have to repeat what she said. But it's an improvement that she has seen. So very simple. You can just do it once a week, seriously, just to keep your face the way you get done at your spa. Okay.
Perfect. Someone is asking if you would put up the resource screen. I think you had a screen with the different websites. I think a few people wanted to see that again. And let's see, we have so many here. What are the benefits of the mask if used without the microcurrent? So in other words, they can still retail the mask, they can still use it in their treatments, right? So maybe you could share some of the ingredients?
Yeah, I cannot remember, but
I know it has.
I know there is chamomile. It's very calming and it's anti-inflammation. So will it be something that you could do? Some of our clients actually did that through the pandemic. They bought just the mask and they sold it to their clients as a weekly treatment till they get a chance to come back to them. So yes, you can do that. But I see that some people are trying to help me with the mask ingredients. Hold on. So vitamin C, chamomile, calendula, and allantoin, and jojoba. Thank you,
It's
Darcy.
super hydrating. I mean, when
It's
I
very
use that,
hydrating.
I will use the mask without the, I mean, I admit it. I use it without the microcurrent sometimes. If I'm going to sit down and watch a movie and I think to myself, ooh, like I want a really juicy one that's going to leave me super plump and hydrated, I will grab that one and I will sit it on there. And there's so much in the pack. I mean, it's really, because it's meant to be used with, microcurrent. So as soon as I feel it's even getting remotely dry, I dip it back in and I put it back on, and I can watch a whole movie. And when I am done, my skin is, I don't need a moisturizer. I mean, it just feels amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Does Me Tama Deluxe do the eye detox? And will you be doing any demonstrations? I guess someone's asking for, are you going to do any of those, or do you have access to any of those demonstrations?
So to do a demonstration is very simple. Actually, we can just place pads. It's really simple. This it's, don't laugh. To do the there you have it. It's as easy as this. So 2 up here and 2 down here. My suggestion is when you're doing this, give them a nice wet towel and roll it and put it on their eyes, because it helps penetrate through. And tell them if they like to be watching fireworks, they can close their eyes while they're there and just relax and watch the firework, because you're going to see, because of the current going through the eye, you're going to see the current activating the, the optical nerve and making all of them. You're going to see all of our frequencies. Actually, it's kind of fun. I mean, we had a game going on one time when everybody was here for the last conference. We were all laying down and I was changing programs. And I was asking, what do you see? Do you see, what do you see? Are you seeing purple, or are you seeing blue? Are you seeing white? Just fun. Yeah, I'm kind of crazy. Some people call me nerd, but that's okay. So that's really the eye detox, simple as that. And yes, you're gonna have to connect it to the leads.
And I was gonna say, they hook that up to the Deluxe, and
Yep.
they basically, you turn it on and it runs the whole program for you. You don't have to make any decisions.
No, it's right now on program number 3, and it's going to take about 5 seconds, and then it's going to go on. So right now is fully powered, and once the connections are there, you're going to see a little blinking light telling you that is working. And let's see if I can do that. So this is really how you're going to see it. That is going to, the flow light comes on because your electrode is actually making contact, and you're going to see that the timer is going on and letting you know that is working. So no, there is nothing you have to do. It's going through all the frequencies that I showed you. There is a special reasons for certain times that is selected, because that's how much your body requires to detox, nourish, which means pushing more products into the skin, and then work it. Because if you are nutrition and supplements dehydrated, like you don't have that in your body, what are you going to work out with? It's just like going to the gym, not having your banana before you go in there. You're going to be exhausted after 10 minutes, right? So exactly that. And it shuts off by itself. So if you just have to put a timer for yourself, because sometimes it shuts off. So it doesn't mean that the client is getting any more than what they paid for, but you just don't want them to be just laying there and snoring.
Snoring, exactly. Okay, here's another one. Can you do microcurrent on clients that have Botox currently?
Yes, I have just done Botox on me. I have a TMJ disorder. I did have the bilateral jaw surgery, but my masseter muscles are still very angry. And a month and a half ago, I had to get Botox. And if you notice, remember I told you, you guys are going to get your eyes all trained and you're going to see stuff that we never saw before. Like, just like the way you can look at the skin and say, ah, that person needs vitamin C, or this one needs vitamin A, and blah, 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 right? So you look at my muscles and you can see here is much lighter, where here is not, is puffier. You can tell from my nostrils too, one is wider than the other. My face is actually very equal. It's my muscle that is pulling it this way. So they had to put Botox here. I could not do, because of the seventh cranial nerves, she told me, stay away from Botox, from your TAMA for a month. So I stayed away for 45 days, to be honest. So I just did a me TAMA just 2 days ago on myself, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. But the for regular people that are doing Botox for beauty, you can go ahead and do TAMA on them after a month. My suggestion is wait a month. We do penetrate through, and you don't want those things to move. Because I felt it when I had this one, when I was doing like vacuuming, and by this movement was making my my Botox move. And that night I could not hear through this ear. So it's pretty dangerous. So no, this is the only time I've done Botox, and just in my jaw, and I'm not sure if I want to go back to it again. So we'll see.
Okay, now I knew we would get a question like this, so we might as well just jump in. How does TAMA Deluxe differ from the new face? I purchased a new face and it doesn't do much at all. I know. So
Well,
I think there's a lot of people out there that want to know the difference. I mean, they're looking for the best device possible, and everyone is saying this is the best device possible. They need to understand the differences between them.
right. So it goes back to the frequency again, guys. TAMA device, as I mentioned, is giving you a multiple frequency capabilities, which means it is affecting all of the skin layers and beneath. When you look at New Face has a biphasic square wave that is working at a frequency that works on the skin layer. That's it. They do require that you do the treatment every day. And I have tested it on myself way before we started TAMA, way before I spent $10,000 on a piece of equipment that was called a microcurrent, and it was supposed to be one of the best in the industry. But I never saw anything with New Face, and it was very zingy. And the reason it zings is because of the square wave. Because the square wave, the current comes on a very sharp up, and then it stays up and goes down. So you can always tell when the current is gonna come. So I was always like ready to go, woo, like being charged up. And it made me tear up, because I don't know what it did to my eye, but that's what it did. So that's all I can tell you with the New Face. It is only one frequency, just like many other equipments that are out there. Even some of those devices that they have two frequencies coming into their probes. The funny thing is our body takes only one. It subtracts and takes one in. So we kind of figured those things out. We have amazing engineers, and our CTO is like crazy genius that has been, I was lucky to meet him and be my partner in this device design, and you can see the creation and what has been done. So it's really working differently. That's why I keep saying we're more than microcurrent. The only thing we have in comparison with other microcurrent is because I'm using your body as a part of my circuitry. So that's why we call it a microcurrent. But we always said we're more than microcurrent, seriously. So I hope that you guys believe in us and invest in your business with the TAMA. Once you invest in TAMA, we invest in you. We have always told you, if you decide to go with the Me TAMA, and you always felt, this is true to all of our devices, anytime you buy a device that maybe is not your quad and you really wanted the quad, but you couldn't afford it, don't worry, you can always upgrade and we give you full credit toward your upgrade. So you haven't lost anything. This is why if you have ever talked with me over the past year, and many of our team members laughs at me, here goes Tina. I always tell you, don't buy a quad. Don't buy this. Start with Deluxe. Build your business little by little. It's really important not to really put yourself out there. Keep your stress low. I want you to be happy when you go home and not worry about your financial status, right? We want to make sure that you guys are capable to think the way our estheticians have been. I know that our estheticians supersede everything out there because you can always tell with their level of education when they're putting their works out. It's crazy empowering. What I'm trying to tell you is that take it, make lower risk steps. Make sure it is what you want. Make sure it is. It's kind of in sync with how you feel because of the fact that we are all energy being. How you feel will transfer to me if I'm laying on that table. So, and vice versa. So this is why it's very important that you kind of, you know, just gather yourself up in a way that you can be whole and you can give it, pass it along. So I hope that that makes sense. Do you have more questions for me? You are quiet.
I was muted because my dog was barking, and I thought, oh, of course the dog's
That's
barking.
okay.
So we have tons of questions, but we are out of time. So I want to do two things. One, I want to thank you again for doing this because super important for people to learn the differences and find out truly how great TAMA is and the technology is and how wonderful you are to work with. And there were some questions on there about the different prices of the machine. And I will let you know on the EC website, you have got a couple options. You've got an option for a quad, which is what Tina was talking about with some of those advanced treatments. That's also on promo till Wednesday night. So if you're eyeing the quad, I would get it before midnight on Wednesday night. Then there's also the Pro that's on the EC website. We also have 3 of the MeTamas. We have the Repair, we have the Renew. These are individual programs. One's the Renew, one's the Repair. Then we have the MeTama Deluxe, and then MeTama Deluxe combines both of those programs into one MeTama. So if you're thinking about, just getting one thing and you want to kind of do more treatments, the Deluxe would be the way to go. If you're looking at the Blue Onyx, you've got your choice between the Pro or the Quad, knowing that the Quad is going to be the one that's going to give you those more advanced treatments. What's really cool is no matter what you decide, you can upgrade, which Tina had mentioned, which is super. The other thing we have to do is Thomas is going to pop on and he is going to tell us that we have a lucky winner, and that lucky winner is going to receive a bling bag as well as 5 of the TAMA Essence masks, which you are going to love. Be sure you check out the EC website sale. It's on the Facebook page as well as the website. It runs till midnight, Wednesday, Pacific. If you've got questions for Tina, let us know. If we can get you those answers, we will be happy to do so. There are a few YouTube channels I think people are still waiting for. Did you put that screen up? I want to make sure they can screenshot that as well. And then Thomas, hi.
Hi. So I have our winner, and that is Christina Yanakis. I apologize if I butchered your name. I will send you an email so that we can get your information and get you your prize in the mail.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Time just like flew by. And it always does when I'm taking a TAMA class because I get so entrenched. Tina, did you get a chance to put that up on the screen so they can screenshot it? I just want to make sure that.
And there is one, is it possible that after that screenshot, that I show one last video?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so
absolutely.
Thank you so much. Give me a second, please. I have to share screen again. So you guys can see this page, and let me see if I can do a slideshow from the current page. I'm not sure.
Okay,
if
guys, you can screenshot that.
So right here, guys. And if you need more help, just write to us at mail@tamaresearch.com and ask for videos that will help you understand your body better. And when you understand the body, you can help your clients, I think, better too. So without further ado, I want to finish this off with one last video, just so you can see. Have to get through all of this.
The COVID-19 pandemic forced us to look at our business differently. It made us realize how we may have taken our daily activities ever so lightly, and how privileged we are to have lived the life we have led so far. In order for us to build a safe and healthy environment, we recognize that a change to our habits and processes is mandatory, so we became the change. We changed how we conduct our facial treatments to ensure the safety of our clients, deliver results, and keep your skin and body healthy. We are excited to offer a new facial procedure that helps build stronger immunity by detoxing the body while rebuilding the collagen and strengthening elastin fibers and muscle tissue. This special procedure comes with an exclusive add-on process that empowers you to target troubled areas. One more happy announcement is that we can now offer you an adaptation of our professional device for your home skin health regimen. This weekly treatment is simple and requires only 10 minutes to lift, tone, and infuse a perfect treatment for our busy clients who are committed to their health and beauty. We encourage you to join us in this coalition and help support our community by implementing a process that delivers results with a personal touch, yet honors social distancing. Take a moment to review the new TAMA facial therapy menu, and let's formulate a plan that works for you.
With that, I just wanted to say that these videos are made for you, not me. So these are the kind of videos and pictures that you would get that you can actually put in your website, because with one message, we can go further than multiple different messages. So we need to be sound and together. As they always say, I don't know if you're as old as me, but I always loved Pink Floyd, and I always said, together we stand. So we need to work together, and we need to help each other grow. And for that, Sherry, I appreciate you, and looking forward to having you again in Arizona in September. So have a good day. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all these loving comments. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We would love to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone.